Guys, is my screen visible to you? Great. For the benefit of everybody, I am sharing these sessions on YouTube so that anybody who has an interest in learning can take it, can get it on anywhere he wants to, from his mobile phone, from his laptop, wherever. Okay, and I after this thing is over, and after a few of my courses are done, I'm I'm planning to develop a website with the content. Okay, that would go along with the training materials that you see are posted on the YouTube. So the YouTube I have found to be a very essential component in the training in these times. Okay. What are the topics that I promised to cover today? So let me open up the email that I sent you. Right? I sent an email today, there with the link and the things that we will cover today. Functions and procedures. Uh, Now, my focus here would be on getting Krishna to understand. Okay, and if I think Krishna would understand, everybody would understand. So I'll try to be as clear as possible and uh, as detailed as possible, and I'll try my best to make you understand Krishna this time. Uh, but you would have to do me a favor, Krishna. You have to unmute yourself and ask me questions. Okay, when you don't understand a thing, or rather, I'll ask questions with you so that I get a feedback of what you are not understanding. What is this? Anyway, so let me start without the moment's delay. We would be starting on procedures and functions. Let me open up an Excel over here. While the Excel is opening, I want to ask you, what do you assume a function could be? What is your understanding of function? What do you guess a function could be like? Okay, interesting. You see, I have been doing sub ABC. Now this sub that we do, it is called the sub stored procedure. Okay, what is a procedure? Sorry, not a stored procedure, sub procedure. What is a procedure? Procedure is anything under which we make a we make a program. Okay. Uh, if you remember, in days when you used to practice C++ or C, you used to have main as the primary procedure, and when you click on everything would start from main. Similarly, over here there is no one main procedure that is visible, but you would have to create a procedure through which I mean you can call the other procedures. So you have the freedom to create a procedure. You can give any name that you want to. If you think my definition of procedure is not so good, let me Google procedure. Procedure in VBA. A function procedure is a series of Visual Basic statements enclosed by function, end function. Okay, I'm not talking about function, I'm talking about procedure. Complete tutorial. Let's see what it has to offer. Oh gosh, this internet is slow. If you want to become powerful macro or VBA user, you must understand the concept of procedures, the different type of procedures, and how to work with them. In fact, procedures are so important that I have included them as 16 essential things that you need to learn programming. So, however, nobody is kind enough to give you the definition. When you use Excel, okay, I'll tell you, it's nothing. It is when you write something with sub, and under that you write ABC, it becomes a procedure. It becomes one pack, okay, that you can include it in your program. I have said in the first chapter that we would have object and we would have methods. So the procedure is a method. So there would be two kinds of methods. One would be procedure, the other would be called function, F-U-N, X, Y, Z, and function. That's not happening. Does it want me to write function or what? Hang on. Insert. Uh, I guess it wants me to write F-U-N-C. Let's see right there.
Hi Jeffrey, this is Nathan. Yeah, as per your explanation, so I understand some point. So procedure is nothing but it's a group of statements that can be executable for sub procedures.
Yes, it is
right?
a pack of statements. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, for sub procedures, so it will execute the group of statements, but it will not return a value. But function procedures, it will return a value. That's my understanding. Is that?
Yes, but right now I was talking about function. Okay, when I was about to come to function, okay, I'll have spoken that a function returns a value, but it is not necessary for a function to return a value as well. Okay, uh, okay, you're good that you have spoken. I'm happy that somebody has spoken. Okay, so I would say MSG, and I'll have ABC over here, okay, and then again ABC. You're saying it's absolutely right. Okay. So this is a pack, okay, which has got multiple statements. You are right. This is a procedure. Okay. A procedure can take values. Okay, it can accept values like a as integer, I as string, okay, j as long. It can accept values. So this is procedure. Okay, and if I choose to say a I I and J. Okay. So, of course, everything that you have said is nothing but truth. Okay. What was your name?
Nathan.
Okay, Lothan. Okay. Very nice. Okay. So a procedure, there would be a pack of statements. Okay, and you can pass values to it, but that was a little ahead of what I was saying. I would say sub XYZ, and here, I want to make a procedure. I'll come to this part a little bit later. Sub uh, PQR. Okay, and I'll have okay. Do you know what is a debug? Debug dot write, debug dot print. Okay, it means you're not printing on the Excel. You're printing it on the where are you printing? You're printing on the local window or immediate window. Okay, there's an immediate window. So I am in PQR. Okay, and this PQR, I'm calling this PQR over here. How do I call PQR? I don't require a parenthesis. I just call PQR. Okay. Now we have been practicing this particular thing for quite some time without you guys giving a heed to it. That was we go to developer, okay, and we used to insert an ActiveX control and a command button. Okay, in this ActiveX control and command button we have we used to call the procedure. Okay, XYZ. Now, if you run this particular application, we are going to developer and then pin this text. Okay, so that we're out of the design mode, and so you see, I am in PQR. I remove PQR again from here. Okay, and I double click on it. Okay, I'm in PQR. Did you see this? Okay, how is it happening? Uh, this PQR is a procedure that is calling another procedure. This XYZ is a procedure that is calling another procedure called PQR. Okay. And this PQR is getting printed in the immediate window. So we just see the Visual Basic editor on the screen. Yes, that is what I have on the screen. What else you want me to? What else do you want to see, Sandeep? I've shared the window. Okay. I've not shared the screen. I've shared the entire window with you guys. Okay. I guess I'll share the window again. Share desktop. Okay. Click OK. I think that is what you see. Anyways, now if I want to pass, okay, values to procedure, I'll say a as an integer, so I'll pass 11. I as a string, I'll say Ali. Okay, and j as long, I'll say 2.33. Okay, and let's. Do you see an Excel window right now, everybody? Or you don't see an Excel window? Do you see an Excel window?
Yes, I can able to see.
Right.
Yes, we are Geoffrey.
You want to say something more? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so we have said that a procedure would be a pack in which we can have statements. Okay. Uh, for those of you who have come from the programming background, you would like to define it like uh, there are two things. There are two type of methods. One is called procedure, and the other is called function. The procedure it doesn't return a value, and the function returns the value. So I'll play a function with you guys too, and I'll show you a very unique activity of function too. Okay, FUNC I guess they like this way. And function uh, test like it this way. They like it through function like this. Okay. And to return something, we have to you have to promise that you want to return something. Okay. And what that something is, if it is an integer, it could be an integer. If it is it could be a string, it could be an object, whatever you want to. Now I am going to return something to the function. Okay, so I'll say test equal to 22 plus 33. What it would be 55. Now I want to return it. Where do I want to return it? I want to return it to who has called it. Okay, definitely you return it to who has called it. So I'll say message box and the answer test. 55 should come. 11, 32, 55. 55. Now this would be really interesting. Okay, I'll show you something more. And that this is the way that we do it in function. Okay. Now I would like to accept a value in the function. So I'll say a as integer, comma, b as integer, and I want to sum these two. A plus b. Now, watch it over here. What I'm going to do. I'm going to design what I am saying. I have a number. Say 22, 55, 66, 88, 90, 44, 99, 21, 77, 31. Okay. Test. Now the test was written. This test doesn't take any argument. Right now. Test takes argument. This function takes no argument. Oh, this is strange. Okay, does it want it to have the public?
I think in code equal to is missing. Yes, test is equal to a plus b.
Thank you. and this takes this will take an argument. 22. Okay, which means is that instead of falling to the to access functions, Excel functions, okay, which are sum, you can substitute it with your own function. You can substitute it with your own function. Uh, Now you can do a lot of things when you do th when you do your own function. Okay, you can uh, do a test with, say for example, I want to say it will be a string. So I will say you can do an if statement if a plus b is greater than is greater than 100, then I want to say return test is equal to string. So I'll say return red. Now this is what we have already done. Green. Return green. Okay, let me see if I can make that happen. Uh, I would increase the values, some values from here. I'll make it 101. Okay. So, so you see this has happened. Okay. You can actually program your Excel with the help of this function. Okay. You can do a while statement. You can do an if statement. You can do uh, conditional formatting. You can do the coloring. You can do whatever you want to do. Okay, I'm just giving you a base to start. Okay. Uh, so, so any question in the function and procedure? There would be a lot of questions. Okay. Um, if How do we pass an array? Okay, that could be a question. How do we pass an object through a function? Okay, I'll show you how you pass an object. But once we cover the array, I'll show you how we pass the value through array. Okay. So right now it is. Uh, Now I'll do something over here. I'll make it an object. Object. I'll make this as an object, and I will make this an object too. And I'll say test is equal to a plus b. Okay, now let's see what happens. I'll have Ali. No, it's Jafri over here. I'll have 55 and 95. And I'll put 10. Test accepts values. I'll pass Ali. I'll pass Jafri. Wait. What does that mean? It means that we have to provide a data type for this. But if that is happening, that is a big constraint. I don't think this is what Access should be happy to provide us. But anyways, I'll see. Ali Jaffrey. Okay. So we have to pass it. We have to pass it as the string. The return type has to be a string. However, it is able to do an implicit conversion, or you would say automatic conversion, or said implicit conversion, and how that it converts its values from whatever to whatever. So right now I have Ali Jafri, it gets concatenated. I have 55 plus 99, it returns 154. Okay. However, the logic would say that it should take object, but it wants it's a string. Now, the why it is not taking a string as an object is because the string is an immutable object. Okay, we will talk about that later. But when we take string, okay, it gets converted into other type of object. There are functions for conversion. Okay, that we will see. Okay. This is one thing that we will have to to look at too. Okay. Any question on this? Anybody who has any question, I just welcome it. Else I'll do call by value and call by reference thing. It's a part of function call. Any question? Fast, fast. Okay. Uh, Waiting for question delays the session. Krishna, are you understanding what we are? Uh, are you understanding it completely, or you're not understanding it?
Yeah, actually, I'm in the medium stage. Actually, yeah, I'm trying to understand. I'll practice.
Okay. Have you ever done any programming language before?
Yeah, Java. I have touched in Java.
Okay.
But I'm not understanding why you are taking that different subs and you are not interlinking that. You are calling in one sub. Can you open that Visual Studio? I can ask you.
Please. Your questions are more than welcome. Please go ahead. Yeah. What are you saying?
Yeah, you are initializing this first sub, and first you have called that PQR program, right? There you have called in first line. Then you have initiated in first line, and you are calling that indirectly in second. Those two are different, right? These are different functions. Like it is you are ending that function ends up, and again you are.
Now it looks fine for you now. Does it look fine to you? Okay.
Yeah.
Those lines were written from the previous examples, which I forgot to delete. So I apologize. That was confusing you.
No, actually, no need actually.
Okay. Now you have understood what we are talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. This line is of no value right now. Okay. Fine. So we are just talking about this.
Okay.
Now I'll talk about this part now. Okay. Now, Krishna, what I'm doing is I am passing the value value of test. Okay, I am passing the value of test, which is I'm passing Krisna. Krishna. And what's your last name, Krishna?
No.
I'm sorry?
Can you repeat?
The last name?
Krishnan.
Krishna.
Nan Venkata.
Okay. I'll call it. I might wrongly spell your name. Venkat, V-A-N-K-E.
Aishas Japrai. Venkat.
V-N-K-E-T. V-N-K-E-T. Okay. Apology for this wrong spelling.
And
Okay. Now what I'm doing, Krishnan, is I am passing this value to test. Okay, and the text, and I am passing this value to test, and what is happening? And there is a operator that would. Okay, it does not happen here. I have to have a return and oh, sorry. What's happening now? Well, uh, here I search Krishna. I'll say a comma and right V-N-K-T Venkat. Okay, now this is happy. Okay. And I would pass this thing into a message box. You be not happy with this? Let me see. It won't keep a value for this. Okay, no problem. I'll pass the value. Okay. Check. ABC. Okay. ABC is ABC, and I'll pass ABC as message. ABC. Okay. Um, is what we will do is that the test is we are passing the value to test. Okay, and the test has A and B as an object. Okay, and is returning a string. Okay, that we have already seen, and this value is getting into to another string, okay, A B C as string. Okay. This value is going into another string and then displaying itself through a message box. Any question? No, I don't think so. So is there an error? No, there is no error, and it would work. But you see, the object Krishnan, uh, it would require a string. It would not take it as an object. It would also require us to be a string. Okay. Krishnan Venkat. Here what we are demonstrating is the same function that we had taken to draw to do a test over here. I'll test, okay, and I'll have values over here, and to test. and test. Okay, I would get Krishnan Venkat with this. Okay, somebody saying something on this? Venkat, did this point get through clearly with you?
Yeah. Actually, I have one more question, Jaffrey. Here, A represents Krishnan and B represents Venkat, right?
Right.
Okay. But again, in the function of test, you have assigned A as Krishnan. Again, even in ABC also, you have assigned these two ABC, right? With the same name ABC.
Where is ABC?
Yeah, ABC is equals to test of Krishnan and Krishnan Venkata, right?
Right. Yes.
Again, the same function A and B and these are same, and the system will not confuse.
No. Why will it confuse? A and B are a variable over here. Now this brings me to answer something which is called global and local. Okay. If you there are two ways. There are two things over here. Okay. One is a local. Okay, and one is a global.
Okay.
If I say a dim, okay, dim India as a string. Okay, dim India as a string. Now this dim India, there is I'm not assigned dim India into XYZ. Okay, this dim India is part of global. Okay, now if I say India is equal to India. Okay, I can use this India into this function and I'll get the same values. I'll give a demonstration.
Okay.
Why this is happening? Because this India there, which is the string, okay, is assigned a value, but this value stays as long as this module is working. Okay, so let us come over here and examine this particular thing. Okay, I am assigning a value xyz to India, and there's a test. Okay, let's say remove this particular thing. A test that is returning a value. Okay, and I'll say the test. Okay, now this is return at you. Let's see how it happens. Okay, I'm calling India in this. Now it's a test. Okay. So there is and I'll say message box over here. Message box. Okay. I'll remove a message box from here. Okay. Where am I putting the value, Krishnan? I'm putting the value in XYZ. Okay. And I am getting the value of test. Okay. This test value should return India. Let's play with it and see what happens. I'll do an F8. Okay, the value of India is assigned to India. Do you want to see the value of India is assigned to India? Okay, and okay, so this is again the mistake. Now I'll do an F8 and once again, okay, the value of India gets assigned to India. Okay, to check what is the value of test, it has gone to India. And say for example, and I have taken this value away from there. Okay, and I have put this value over here. Now, do you think we will get a value of India over there? Let's see. This is because this value of India is assigned in this particular block. This value of India has not been assigned to this particular block. Okay.
Okay, Jeffrey.
And this particular example, what I'll do is I'll put the value of India. I'll assign the value of India up there. Okay, and I would and I'll put the value. I'll change the value of India. I'll assign India over here. Okay, dim India, dim India as the string, and I'll say this India of a string is equal to Bharat. H-A-R-T, Bharat. Okay. Now, if I run the application, okay, this India has got India. Okay, it has gone to this India became Bharat. Okay, and when we are returning, became Bharat. Making sense? If you if I have a call right now. Oh, so did it make the concept clear for you? We would move to the next part. Okay, which is this call by value and call by reference. What is a value and what is a reference? Do I have this in my? I should have this in my notes. Call by value. Call by value. If I don't have it, I'll have it again. Okay, it's not a science, but what I'm going to say, call by value, call by value, and call by reference in VBA. Okay. If I'll open this and I'll open up MS Paint for you. MS. I am making a box over here and another box over here. If I say this box has got the value 25, okay, guys, please understand this is interesting. Okay, let me write it. If I say this box has got value 25, okay, this box has got value 27, okay, which means since this box uh, is has acquired the value of 25. Okay, so this box was standing somewhere in the memory. Okay, this is a memory. Okay, in the memory, with this box was getting the value. This box was standing in memory, and it has got a box. The address of the box was 0, and this box has got the address as 1. Now on this box, we have put some value as 25 and 27. Okay, so there is an association. There's an association that has happened between the box and the value. And now, if I say it like this, the same thing, 0, 0 and 1, and there's one other box, okay, and this box, here's the value 25. And this value reference to this box and this value reference to this box. Okay, so I make a change in this box, adding this value to if I change this value as C, okay, what's going to happen? This value also gets changed. This value also gets changed. Okay. However, if I make a change to 25 as 29, okay, this box was containing this value. The value was inside the box, so the value for this box doesn't change. Okay. However, in this particular scenario, the value gets changed. If you're finding it complicated, okay, let me see if the website has given a better example for this. See if passing. It's just saying the same thing. The value you not providing any kind of analogical explanation, but I'll once again try to explain it to you guys so that things become clearer. Okay. This is a circle. This is another circle. Okay. Uh, I am binding a value to this circle. Okay. I'm binding a value to this circle. I'm binding apple to this circle. And ape to this circle. Okay. If I changes to apple, if I change anything in this box, okay, the change is just limited to this box, which means apple. If I make changes to ape, this the change to this box would be limited to this box. Okay, it's not going to cascade to ape, but when the situations are like reference with reference to a value which is apple. If I happen to see if I happen to see this box, I'll see apple. If I happen to see this is my eye, okay. I like you. You might not like this eye of mine, okay. Okay, but if I happen to see apple from this box, okay, you'll see apple. I make changes to the apple, okay, and if I say it banana, you would see it as banana. Okay. So this particular thing is called referencing. The one that I showed you, it was called the value. Okay. This is called reference. That is called value. Now let us take an example. Okay, and to understand what I am trying to say. I'm just taking this example. Okay. Venkat, if you are not able to understand, please feel free to ask the question. Okay, this is slightly tricky than the simple things that we had done. Okay, this is a collar. Okay, as I said earlier, the main happens to be the collar. Okay, and this is a collie. I am passing the value of 1 and 2, okay, to the collie, and then I am changing this value. Okay, I'm changing this value to I plus 1 and j plus 1. Okay, so this value is assigned in this. However, when you see the result on this, the value has changed. I'll show it to you how it happens. When you compare these two examples, okay, one is called by, let's run, let me first run it first. Okay. So the first value was 1, and the second value was 2. Okay, and now the value of I has 2, and the value of j has become 2 too. Let's examine it carefully. This value is called by integer. This is a little more. The example is kind of little vague. I'll, I'll make it more certain. Everybody, watch it carefully over here. I'm passing the value of k, and the value of k is 1, and it is going to callee. The callee is increasing it with 1, okay, and then it is returning it as 2. This is when we are saying it is called by reference. If I change it by value, call by value, by value, by value of val, call by val. Okay, now you would see what is going to happen. So the same thing, okay, has restored its value to 1. Okay, the value has not changed. But in the previous example, if I say it by ref, no change in the program. Okay, and it is becoming 2. Okay. One. So what are we trying to say? We are trying to say the same thing that I have said it to you. That this value, when we call by value, the number or the value that we assign to the variable is sitting on the variable, closely sitting on the variable. But when we call it by reference, the value is a reference to the variable. So when the reference changes, okay, the value that we see through the through the variable also changes. Okay. Now, why is this so important? Okay, it is so important because in VBA, when we are doing function, we sometimes tend to make mistakes on this, and we are not able to get the desired result. Moving ahead from this, anybody, any question, please fire it on me. Fixed array. So yesterday we started with array, okay, and then my computer rebooted. Okay, so I'll start with array once again. Any question, anybody? Array. So I would be doing array right now. Okay, I think I have a explicit chapter then for array created. Dynamic array. Fixed array. Vectors. So yesterday I was saying, what is an array? Array is nothing that but anything that is arranged in a row. Array has one more property. this fixed array is an array of the same type of variable, which means it can be an array of integer, it can be an array of string, anything. Okay. So how do you define an array over here? So any name? Okay. Um, students. 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 And we define an array, and this is an array of strings. So on the zeroth part of this array, okay, if you look at the exam, okay, uh, consider to be an array of 10 students. I'm going to write the names here. Okay, uh, I'll say alpha, 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 b, gamma, gamma, theta, zeta, and octa, octa, OCT, octa. Okay, uh, so on. Okay, so if you see carefully, every value has a index. It is starting from 1, it is starting from it's 2, it is 3, it is 4, it is 5, it is 6. Okay, so I would have to give values over here. Now, default the default of an array starts from 0, unlike the exam. Okay, so I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is in fact 9. Okay, so it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. And let's make it 10 as well. Uh, so I have spoken about for loop. Okay, so for let's say dim as integer, no, for is equal to 0 to I is equal to 9. No, not I is equal to 9, just 9. Okay, not the I'll say next. Okay, student VBA3. Here we are passing it as an index, right? And do a little game over here. Cells I and plus 1. is the problem it is saying? Your array is starting from 0, but my Excel is not starting from 0. Okay. Good. Not happy? No, it will work. Okay. So, this is how we assign array, and this is how we take the value from array. If you want to take a specific value out from the array, you can very simply go and say student. What is in the eighth place of the student I want to message it. Let's message it. You get him 9. Now, uh, now, now the question is that does the array always start from 0? Okay. Can the array start from 1? The other question is what if we kind of allocate 10 array and we then we do not fill the entire values of the array. So what to happen after that? So the first question is that the first answer is no. The array doesn't need to start from 0 all the time. Okay, it can start from 1. Okay, however, we have to make some changes over here that we will make. I'm not recalling it right now. What are the options? Options. Okay. And VBA. Option explicit and moment. Option based one. Okay. So we can have the option based one, which would make the array start from 1 instead of 0. Now we can see uh, see the game change. Control Z. Okay, and I put an option base one, and I instead of and instead of 1 can have it as 10. I don't have to add a value over here. And execute it. Execute it. Okay. So, and the second question that we asked was, what if I do not provide the values for which I have allocated? What would happen? Uh, so we have to know how much value each of the variable occupies. Okay, if it is array of integers, then it would occupy 2 bytes for each of the element of the array. If it is the long, it's going to take 4 bytes. Okay, if it is double, it's going to take 8 bytes. So these are the spaces that you will waste. Okay, when you are allocating it, doing it. This brings me to the question: how can array be dynamically? allocated? And the answer is yes. Okay. In order to avoid the waste, we can allocate the array dynamically. So I am just going to allocate the array dynamically. And how do I allocate the array dynamically? It's very simple. First of all, okay, I do not put a value due to the array. The second is that I rename the array. Okay, and I make it 10. Okay, which would mean that uh, in the first place, I have not allocated any value to the array. The second is that I have allocated after I have realized that this is the value that I want to allocate. Okay. These are the places, or these are the number of spaces that I want in the array. I rename it. Okay. So I'm creating it. Now this can be done by the user itself. If for example, there is a user who doesn't know how much space he wants in the first place, so he can put an a over here. So I'll say him a as integer, and and he can choose to say a is equal to input box in- into the value, and I would say, you know, okay, and when I'm entering the value from the user, so I would like to take the value from the user. So how do I make that happen dynamically? Okay. The student I is input box enter, a value, and once I have got into the values, okay, I would get him put this value onto the Excel sheet. So how do we get this to Excel sheet? We will say the sheet, whatever sheet value that we want. Okay, and we can have a sheet number or a sheet index, or yeah, we can have a sheet by index. Okay, sheet one. Okay, and then I'll say cell, and then I'll say I. Uh, okay, I'll have the I, and I'll get the values from the student I to the sheet I. Okay, now let's run this code and see if we get any error. One, I have said what are the how many values I want. I said I want to have 4 values. Okay. Uh, this was an unnecessary statement. Okay. Because there was no 8. So I'll continue with the code. Okay. Enter a value. So the first value is Ali. The second value is T. The third value is COFF, coffee. The fourth value is laptop. Okay. If you see, I have got the values Ali, tea, coffee, laptop. Now, for example, so if I uh, initially chose that I want a few values, and after I had written those values, okay. Uh, for example, I first I thought it would take five values. I would be fine with five indices or the five places in the array allocation. Now I want seven. Okay, what do I do? I have to I'll say if I would say if uh, what's the message box is MSG box. If you want more value, say yes or say no. Okay, and what type of a button we want? Yes, no button. Okay, cancel button. Okay, cancel button. Or yes, no button. Yes, no button is fine. Whatever. Okay. And I will value pass if if the message box is saying yes, and if it is saying bb yes, then I'll have more values and if let's have more values to the array, okay, which is like I will have to redeem the array. Okay, so I'll have redeem, and how many allocation space do you want? Redeem it, redeem it. Uh, I'll say redeem it, okay, and uh, this time I would like to have more space, so I'll say b as integer b, redeem b. Now something would happen if I redeem it. It is definitely going to create a space with uh, b plus a. However, the old would get lost. So I have to use the word preserve, preserve. Oh, let me have the wrong preserve, preserve. Hmm, preserve. Preserve, preserve. Right. Preserve, read preserve or preserve rhythm. I think. What? It won't. It is not preserve. Rhythm, rhythm preserve. Okay, that was the reason. Okay. Oh, so it's to store the old values. Now it's up to A to know the values of B. Let us do it again. Enter the value. First time I entered the value as 2 and I gave the value as and this time I entered the value as 3. Okay. One thing that has not happened in this is that I have entered the value, asked the value, you and will again have to do this as well. We're taking the values. Let's see this particular application running. Okay, I said the value is 3. Okay, enter the value, you see, enter the value, okay, enter the value, hat. Okay, do you want more value? Say yes. Okay, and I want more values because I want and I want oh really copy. Now, interesting to see over here is that only 3 of the values have been taken. Why it has taken only 3 values? It is because when I read them, okay, I have to debug the program to see what is happening. Let's start debugging the program. Okay, I want a 2 value. Okay, and I debug. I said A. I said B. You want more value? I say yes. So right now in my array, okay, in my array I have 2 values, A and B, and here I have 2 more values. The reason why this is happening, I got it. Okay. Guys, are you following me or are you not following me? That's the question. The 2 participants. Hi guys, hello. Are you guys following it or are you guys not following it?
Yeah, Jeffrey, yeah.
You guys are following it. Okay. So what is the problem that we are facing? Why are we not getting the right values? Can anybody explain it to me? We are only getting the values that we have allocated on the later tea coffee hat. Okay, we are not getting the first values. Where are those first values getting lost? Let's do it again. Again. Okay, I am design mode. Okay, and A. Yeah, now putting a B. Okay, and I'll say yes. And I'm putting a so and I'm putting two values A and B. So say yes. So again putting a value C, putting value D. Okay. And only C and D are getting over there. Where are the rest of the values gone? Any explanation on this? Yes. How many times the loop was supposed to run? The loop was supposed to run A time and a B time. Okay. What is the value of A? The value of A is 2. Okay, and it is taking the value. It is taking the value A and B. So I'll put a break mark over here. Again, 2 A B. Yes. Okay, and I'm putting a value C and D. Okay. A and it is supposed to run 4 times. Okay, and the values that we are putting into B, okay, are overwriting the values that were written into A. Okay, so we have to run from A to B in order to preserve those values so that those values do not get overwritten. Okay, pay attention to B. Now let's see, it should give the result. Right, as the result this time. What's it to happen? A, B, C, A, B. Okay, see. There's something more. There's something happening over there. Okay, we'll discuss this particular thing tomorrow. Again, so we are discussing. Okay, fixed array, dynamic array. We have also discussed call by value, call by reference. Okay, I would start sorting. We multi-dimensional array and sorting. I'll take it tomorrow. So and these are the things that I planned it for today, but could not happen tomorrow. Okay. My real concern over here is that are you guys understanding? Is Venkat okay understanding this whole thing? Is Sandeep Oza the understanding this thing? Is Harsha Munga understanding all these things? Okay, so that the efforts kind of gets aligned to the goal.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused with dynamic arrays. I'll get tomorrow this. Actually, you'll explain again, right? Yeah, I'll get tomorrow.
Yes, I'll correct this particular application and I'll do this application once again for you guys. Okay.
What that redeem preserve exactly means for Jeffrey?
Redeem. Okay. What redeem does is that when we are allocating an array for the first time, okay, then the value goes into the array, Very fine. Now you want to extend the size of the array. Okay. So if you do not do a redim preserve, what would happen is it would delete the previous values. It will allocate the value. Definitely, it will allocate. You're saying redim 7 now. Okay, so it's going to allocate 7, but it is not going to preserve the three values that you have fed into the array earlier.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for explanation.
Okay. So yeah, we are dropping off right now. That's what we will do. We'll meet tomorrow again. I hope this your training interesting, and it is you guys who can only make this training interactive, because you guys are not speaking. So I would like more participation from you guys, so that we can make this training more interactive. Now, what is very important in this particular scenario is that even if you don't understand the entire thing, okay, it is not a big deal. Okay, the training would be there on the portal, and then the content is shared on the OneDrive. Also, the training is there would be on YouTube. Okay, and the content would be shared on the OneDrive. You already have the link for this. Okay, you can ask me. Okay, you if you don't choose to ask me right now, now the content would be well explained. Okay, you can get back to the content anytime in your life. Okay, and you should be able to understand it. That's the whole idea. Okay, so I'm trying my best to make a good content, so that it can be referenced whenever you want. Okay, you guys have to help me in making that content better. Okay, so we can actually uh, create a good session for everybody. Okay. On this note, I say goodbye to you guys. The training ends at 8 o'clock or 8:30. What was the training timing? 8:30 was the timing, or 8 o'clock?
8:30.
30. Okay, 2 hours. Okay, fair enough. So hope you guys like the training, and I'll try to bring more